Hello, my name is Daniel Rekschaffen. I'm the author of The Way of Mindful Education, Mindful Education Workbook, and Alpha Breaths. Today I want to show you a lesson which is called Shake It Off, and I'll do a couple other ones connected to it. It's really about working with stress, helping students, if they're dysregulated, come into balance, find more of a sense of peace. And there's a few ways to do that. The first way to do that is usually it's hard to de-stress when you don't know that you are stressed. And for young people and for adults, it's helpful to do a few ways of just kind of recognizing when there's stress or tightness in the body. Often I talk about what I call the stress thermometer. I teach kids and help schools to have in their classrooms this 10-point scale where they understand if it's getting up to 8, 9, 10, how to be able to track that in their bodies. So students have what we call the language of their sensations. So they start noticing when stress starts building, and when they get to a certain point, usually 7, 8. If it gets to 9, often it's too far. You need to help kids to self-regulate by finding that point. They're 7, they're 8, they start noticing their breath faster, some type of tightness. And we get them to really track in their body, learning these to sweep through the body, aware of their sensations. And very young kids can do this, and high school students can do this very well as well. Being able to slowly track when that tension starts coming, and then having external and internal resources to be able to bring the stress thermometer back down. So oftentimes I do what I call the vacuum cleaner breath, is I have them kind of close their eyes or just kind of feel inside, notice where they are on that 10-point scale, do this vacuum cleaner breath where they breathe all of the stress into the bottom of their belly like a vacuum cleaner and breathing out, letting it go. There's all types of resources that we can offer students as teachers to be able to give them some type of stress toy or to be able to sit with them or whatever we need to help them come down. But the inner tools, giving them a toolbox of ways that they can be able to notice when the stress is rising and then to be able to bring it down themselves. We'd rather them self-regulate than us having to regulate from the outside. So a basic shake it off practice is that first we have to, often I have people tighten up certain places just to know what stress feels like. So you might do this with me right now. Just kind of tighten your fists up and feel what that feels like, and then as you breathe out, let them relax. You might scrunch up your face, your shoulders, breathing in, breathing out, letting them go. And you might notice that they don't fully go. Sometimes we carry a lot of tension. If you might do it with the whole body, tensions up the whole body everywhere, breathing out. And you might notice in your body, just with your awareness going through, are there places that are still tight? Even if we try that one more time to tighten everything up, and then let it all go. See if there's still any tension anywhere. And then what we can do is we can shake it off. And animals do this. Animals, when they have a kind of traumatic experience, they literally, their body shakes. But we as human beings, we don't do that. We have a lot of stress, it comes, and then we stay tight. So it's really helpful to do some shaking practices. So what we can do is, oftentimes I turn on music for students, and it's really simple. You just let your body shake, let the hands shake, and the feet, and let the head bob a little bit. You could do it right now as you're watching, letting everything kind of shake, and then pause, and just feel the breath. See what it feels like to be still. And then shake again, letting everything shake, and then still. And you can just keep doing this as long as you want. And with students, one of the things, if you just go into a classroom and tell kids to sit still, oftentimes that's not going to work. It's going to feel like a punishment. But if you go into a classroom and you say, we're going to do this fun thing, it's kind of flash dance type of game, we're going to turn on some sounds, or maybe I have a little shaker that I often use. And when it's happening, people are shaking, moving their bodies, and then it stops, and everybody's just still, and you have them look inside. Or I have them do some fun movements, and then I say, now see what it's like to be totally still and see if there's any movement, even though you're being still. So you're inviting them to have this inner focused lens, which is going to be within their range of capacity, rather than just telling them to sit still, which oftentimes will make them not like mindfulness very much. So this is a very simple practice, but it goes a long way. If kids can't actually be able to track and be aware of what the sensations of stress feel like in their body, and if they don't have tools to be able to regulate them, that's on us as teachers. If we keep getting frustrated at them that they don't have impulse control, we actually can teach them that. This is what impulse control is for them to be able to know what it feels like on the inside and have the tools to be able to actually control their responses. So thank you so much for your kind attention. I hope this is helpful.